we're going to talk about video games.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about in video game news.
Yes, we do. So I start because I'm going to do the news. So
Yeah.
I'll start with the game I wanted to talk about. Just want to say this right now. Haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. It's next on my list. However, I did play Jedi Survivor.
Oh, shit. I do want to hear about
I
how
have
it
a
went.
lot to say about it, and I'm
Okay.
going to do so in a spoiler-free fashion.
Okay, cool. Because I also have not played that yet.
Right. Yeah, so I'm not going to talk about plot or, new gameplay mechanics or anything like that. I just kind of want to talk about... so I didn't like this game as much as the first one.
Interesting. Cool.
So
Cool, because that's not what I've been hearing. I've been hearing people really like this one.
That's the thing. It's a good game. I don't know if it's a good follow-up to Jedi Fallen Order, because Jedi Fallen Order is a really, really solid Souls-like.
Yeah.
From its level design to its combat to its, because you know me, I love Souls games, love Bloodborne. I see footage of this game, Jedi Fallen Order, and I see him climbing up shit like Nathan Drake, and I'm like, is this really a Souls-like? And then I play it, and I was like, oh, yeah, it is, and it's really good. I liked it so much, if you remember, that I started playing it again immediately after I was done playing it. I liked it so much. This one I don't think will get the same treatment, and by that I mean it already hasn't, because I'm not playing it anymore. I beat it, but after I beat it, I was like, I think I'm good.
Because I didn't introduce you to Fallen Order, but I suggested Fallen Order to you when it came out.
Yeah,
and,
you bought it first.
Yeah, and I thought it was a really good game. Everything that I've seen and heard about with this follow-up, it seems like they're more focused on trying to give you the best open world experience than anything else.
And that is the key word that I want to talk about, open world, because yes, of course there's open world Dark Souls games. Elden Ring is an open world Dark Souls game, right?
Whiskey Dad says Thunder and I have the same taste of games. I trust Thunder.
Hell
solid,
yeah.
solid comment.
Thank you. I hope I don't do you dirty by talking about Jedi Survivor. Yeah. So, in Jedi Fallen Order, there's a bunch of planets, and all these planets are set up like Dark Souls levels.
Mm-hmm.
Every Dark Souls game has like a bad level. There's the Scarlet Bog in Elden Ring. There's the Poison Swamp in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
There's no bad levels in Fallen Order.
Yeah, no, it's solid through and through.
I'd say that every single level in Jedi Survivor is pretty mid. Like, I wasn't like blown away by any of them. And I think that's because one of the levels, one of the planets, Kobo, is like 10, 12 times larger than any of the other planets. It's one big, huge, open world, do what you want area. And I don't necessarily know if they got it. So the combat remains unchanged. The combat is still the same Dark Souls-like combat that was in the last one. I won't talk about anything new or any new, like, lightsabers or whatever, because I'm not going to spoil anything. So the combat was fun. What was losing me at first was, like, it just kind of seems like they made their Dark Souls-like more like the new God of War games. And as we know, I also love the new God of War games, but it just, like, I don't know, something was off. Then the story started to get weird. And I've seen a lot of people complain about this. I've seen people complain, and then I've seen people just sort of talk about it. I'm not complaining. I'm not like, the story was terrible, and here's why, and I hate Star Wars now. I'm just sort of like, that could have been better. Because what happened was, there was, the game was going solid. I was doing great. I was exploring. I was having fun. And then something happens. I won't reveal what it is, but something happens, and my playing of this game came to a dead stop. And it's like, you're not going to get to play the rest of this game unless you beat this part. And I don't like how they handled this thing I'm referring to. I didn't like playing it. I thought that the characters involved in this thing that I'm talking about, it wasn't really justified. I don't know. It was a weird scenario, and it took forever for me to beat because it was very hard, and it's left a bad taste in my mouth. And then immediately after that, the story started getting weird, and I was like, this game's losing me fast.
Interesting.
So I did finish it. I ended up finishing it. I didn't 100% it. I 100%ed the bounty hunter missions, and I suggest people do that too, because That one is the only one that actually comes with like cutscenes and like a cool thing that happens. But other than that, it was just like, now go find all the plants, go touch all the, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play something else. So honestly, like if this was the first game in the series, I'd be like, yeah, it's Souls-like, I guess. It's not. I wouldn't call it Souls-like, but it was good, you know. But now that it's the follow-up to Fallen Order, I don't think it was as good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like I hated it, and I'm not saying don't make a third one. Absolutely make a third one, and I will buy it. I promise. But yeah, I don't know.
Just doesn't beat the original.
It didn't. It honestly made me want to go back and play the original because I was like, I remember the original being so good, and I don't think that's like nostalgia or something like that. I think that if I remember correctly, the first one is legitimately good, and if I went back and played it right now, I would have a better time than I am playing this one.
Yeah. That's
just me, though, you know?
No, that's fair. That's a fair opinion to have. I mean, I'm still going to try it out. I'm still going to play it. I've got theories as to what this thing you're talking about is. I saw one, I don't know if it was a mod, I don't know if it was a glitch, I don't know if this actually happened, but I saw footage of somebody going into a bar, and at the end of the bar, Darth Vader's hanging out, and he's not aggressive until you get over to him, and then he just starts beating the shit out of Cal.
That was a mod.
Oh, okay. I figured.
Darth Vader, there is a bar. It's like your main area. Darth Vader does not show up in that bar.
Yeah, okay.
I will admit that.
Yeah. Cool. I also haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. It is on the my list keeps growing.
I'm currently working through Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion. I never played the PSP version. It's very short. I'm getting through it very quickly, and I'm having a lot of fun. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go purchase Tears of the Kingdom.
Cool. Do you want me to give my week?
Yeah.
All right, so my week has entirely consisted of 7 Days to Die.
Oh, nice.
And
sorry, before you start, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
Are you have you thrown in the towel on Elden Ring?
I haven't thrown in the towel. I needed a break.
It's a lot of game.
It's a lot. Well, I'm almost at the end. It's
right.
Not even the amount of game that's bothering me. It's the amount of leveling up. This game wants me to, like, I feel like half the time I've spent in this game is leveling up.
Okay.
And that's no exaggeration, and I feel like that's too much.
Mm.
Maybe I didn't do the stats properly, because this is my first Dark Soul, like, real Dark Soul-like game.
Right, but developed by the people who made Dark Souls.
Right. But, I don't know. I'm spending what I think is a ridiculous amount of time leveling up, and I was doing it. Then you gave me 7 Days to Die again.
Yeah.
And I was like, this game was neat. And then I was like, Pauline, I'm gonna make you play this with me.
I saw a post. It was a quote from Miyazaki, the guy who makes Dark Souls games.
Yeah.
And as you know, they recently did Armored Core 6.
Yeah.
Which is like the thing they made before Dark Souls. And the quote was, I promise there's not a poison swamp in Armored Core 6. And then the person who I was following, quote, retweeted it, and they said, I don't believe you.
I gotta say, though, we're at the 48th day in 7 Days to Die,
nice.
Which for you quick math magicians
is 1 day
away.
Right?
Away till the next
it.
7th day.
Did math.
Yeah. We're just doing really, really well in that game.
Oh, nice.
And I'm having a lot of fun. She's having a lot of fun. She's the one who wants to play it all the time.
That's cool because last time we talked about this, she had a rough intro.
Oh yeah, she was not into it. I adjusted the settings, and now she's all over the game. She's
nice.
really liking it.
I'm glad because I always figured this would be a game that she would like.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know about her, so I'm glad she does.
Yeah, no, she's digging it. That's been everything I'm doing in video games. So now, let's talk about video game news and all the cool, exciting things that have been happening in video games over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, so as what frequently happens on this podcast specifically, we recorded the last podcast where I was scrounging for news stories. and then like just a ton of stuff happened. So there's a couple small ones that I'm going to get out of the way, and we're going to talk about the big ones. The biggest one being there was a State of Play showcase yesterday, PlayStation.
Yeah.
You know, and I believe the timing is correct that this would have been their E3 thing.
Okay.
So that's what happened yesterday. So we're going to talk the most about that, but just running through a few headlines. Overwatch 2 is shutting down its services, which a lot of people are upset about because that game just came out, and you know they shut down Overwatch 1 to start 2, and now you can't play 2 and all that.
That's dumb.
That is dumb. I don't care about Overwatch. I don't wish to discuss this any further because we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
I already have one thing. You keep going, but I'm double checking the news that I had.
Okay.
And I have at least one thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you want to put yours in here now?
Yeah, sure. Sony's making a new handheld stream.
We're gonna get to that in the
handheld to stream PS5 games.
We're gonna get to that in the.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. Okay, so Power Washer Simulator has its first paid DLC. It had free DLC previously. It was Lara Croft's Mansion and Final Fantasy VII stuff. The two paid DLC packs that they've announced so far couldn't be from two IPs that are more different from each other. One of them is Bikini Bottom.
Oh, shit.
And one of them is Warhammer 40K.
So you're going to get to power wash Bikini Bottom?
Yeah.
That's cool.
They showed the 3 houses covered in soot.
Cool. I'm currently power washing a deck in real life.
Hell yeah. You have a power washer?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It sucks, but yeah.
There is a trailer out, a teaser trailer for the long been in development hell Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Yeah.
Now,
I haven't seen it yet.
Normally, I wouldn't care. Normally, this is where the story would end. I'd be like, that happened. Isn't that great? Anyways, moving on. But I have some info.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not like legally, like there's no NDA or whatever, but there is, I'm not going to lie, stuff that I'm going to say here and then stuff that I'm going to tell you, my friend, later that I shouldn't tell the public.
Awesome. Cool.
So,
because your company does have the rights to Friday Night at Freddy's.
Friday Night at Freddy's, that's right.
Friday Night Lights at Freddy's.
Friday Night Lights with Fred Bear. Yes, we do. And if you watch the teaser trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's, you can see a Sanshi original plush in the trailer.
Oh, that's neat.
The trailer starts with like a old. Are they done? Are they finally done? Oh my god. Nope.
Oh no.
Nope, they aren't. They just shut off the generator or whatever. The trailer starts with like an old 60s style, like welcome to Fazbear's Pizza, and there's a little Asian kid who's playing with one of our Foxy plushies in the trailer. Cool. And that's where I'll leave it for now.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah,
cool.
This movie went from me not giving a shit to me probably going to see it in theaters. So the one big piece of news that is not part of the PlayStation State of Play, they announced a new Mortal Kombat game.
Oh, okay.
So they did a teaser. Did I talk about the teaser with the clock? Did we talk about that?
Yes, we did talk about that.
Yeah, so the game's called Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
And if you remember, I was talking about how...
I totally forgot about this, but yeah.
I was talking about how 9 was already a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
So what are they... So apparently what they're doing is, because at the end... Spoilers. At the end of Mortal Kombat 11, Liu Kang basically like puts his hands in the time stream, and he's like, I'll do it now. So he's going to do that.
Okay.
Basically, 9 was a soft reboot where it's like, in 9, we're going to tell the stories of Mortal Kombat 1 through 3, but it's going to be a little different and also high def and a different game. And then they've, been slowly doing that. This is going to be a hard reboot where it's like, maybe nothing that happened in the original timeline will happen.
Okay.
Like you saw the movie. In every timeline, Scorpion... his parents get killed by his wife and child gets killed by Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Maybe that won't happen. Maybe it'll be a totally maybe they'll be brother. Who knows? Like it's going to be a completely different thing.
Cool.
But it is called Mortal Kombat 1. The only characters from the original Mortal Kombat game that aren't hard confirmed are Sonya and Kano. Everyone else was either talked about at one point or shown off in the trailer. And yeah, other than that, I'm excited to see what happens. Apparently, there's some leaks. I don't pay attention to those. At least I try not to. especially because in the past, some leaks that have looked the most realistic ended up being fake.
Yeah.
Like there was a leak that leaked Ken in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Ken, of course, showed up in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but the leak was fake.
Oh wow.
So I don't care.
How did the? I wonder if there's a comparison of the animation of the leak compared to what we actually got.
It was just an image.
Oh, okay.
So
it looked fine.
It looked real enough, but it wasn't. But the information was real. I don't know. It's sometimes shit like that happens. But I don't care about leaks, so I'm not going to talk about them. Especially because like I don't understand how like there wasn't any news of a new Mortal Kombat game, and then there's this clock promo, and then there's like a second shorter clock promo a couple days later, and then 2 days later there's a trailer for a new Mortal Kombat game that no one's ever heard of, and there's already leaks. So I don't know. It's just the timing is like interesting to me.
Speaking of leaks, the apparently the entire Gollum game has gotten leaked.
Oh, okay.
And it happened again. It's like a few days before that game's supposed to come out.
Oh, is that game almost out?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's not like it's just on YouTube, I guess, the whole game.
Right.
You can just
see
a playthrough, I guess.
Yeah, that is bizarre. That stuff like that happens. But yeah, you know me, long time Mortal Kombat fan. I've been a fan since I was a kid. I literally, when I was in 5th grade, when I was supposed to be listening to the teacher, what I would do is I would write like essentially like a Mortal Kombat lore Bible. Like I would pick a character and like just write their entire Wikipedia article, basically, and then like move on to a new character.
That's
I
cool.
love Mortal Kombat, and I can't wait to see what they do with this one. I will say once again, it is odd that this is not Injustice 3 because they were doing MK Injustice over and over again, and now they've skipped that. And instead of doing Injustice 3, and technically instead of doing MK12, they're doing this. So I'm excited. It's exciting. It's new. It's hopefully new, you know? And now we're going to talk about the PlayStation State of Play. There was no Mortal Kombat footage there because Jeff Keighley announced on Twitter that Summer Game Fest is where we're going to see Mortal Kombat 1 footage. So let me find the list real quick because someone put the list on the actual video. So I just have to get that up real quick. Here we go. I've already found it. Okay. So this is, these are timestamps. So this is an order of how it happened. So this showcase was front-loaded with a lot of chaff, if you know what that word means. It was just like a bunch of stuff that like is probably a recognizable name to somebody.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a bunch of indie stuff. Nothing bad. It's just like, and now the good stuff, you know?
Right.
So we got a game called Fair Games that looked like a heist team heist game. A game called Helldivers 2, which I can only assume is a sequel to a game called Helldivers. I've never heard of it, but this game looked fucking real. There was a dude like, "Hi, it's me, white dude," and he looked real.
Really?
It was If you have time, look up the trailer to Helldivers 2 and just watch the first like 30 seconds before he puts the armor on. They showed
does it stop looking real when he puts the armor on?
It just looks like a Halo dude at that point.
Yeah, I gotcha.
They showed off Immortals of Avium. It looks fine. I did not expect to see famous people in this one. It's got Dave Franco in it.
Oh,
and
okay.
Gina Torres, if you know who that is. They showed off Ghost Runner 2. They showed off Phantom Blade 0. This one was odd because this one got a long trailer. And at first I was like, this is looking kind of Souls-like. And then they show gameplay, and I was like, oh, no, it's much more like action RPG-ish. But it's called Phantom Blade 0, which would imply there's like a Phantom Blade 1 and 2 or whatever.
Right.
So I looked it up, and this is the first Phantom Blade game, but it's not like there are some people watching who are like, oh my god, Phantom Blade. This is like an indie dev's like magnum opus. He like made a few games, and he's like, this is his like big project.
Okay.
And this is, I guess it's like sort of like takes place in the same universe. Like, what if I made those games, but it's a not indie game, you know, stuff like that. Some of these I have just the name and I don't have anything to say about them, like Sword of the Sea and the Talos Principle 2 and a game called Neva. They showed off Cat Quest, Pirates of the Peridian. I've never talked about Cat Quest. I love Cat Quest. I'm not going to talk about it for long. It's a little tiny little indie game that I love, and they're making a third one.
Cool.
Foam Stars. This was a Square Enix game that came out of nowhere. It basically looked like Splatoon, but you're shooting foam instead of paint. If you can imagine that. They showed off the Plucky Squire. I know I've talked about this game before. Does my dad have something to say about Foam Stars?
Woohoo, Cack.
Oh yeah, Cackfest! Yay, Cackfest! The Plucky Squire. It's a game where the trailer starts. If you haven't seen this trailer, please go watch it and don't let me spoil it for you. But I'm about to. The trailer starts. It opens the bedroom to a kid. It says like Sam's room or whatever, and the camera goes to a book, and the book is the video game. It's like a 2D drawn, like Zelda-like video game. But then halfway through the trailer, the character on the page, he jumps out of the page, and now he's 3D, and he's walking around this room like Toy Story, and he like beats up a few people, and he finds a cup, and then he goes into the cup, and now he's playing on the cup, and it looks incredible.
So are you saying like, is it like in Mario Odyssey where it can go from 2D to 3D style gaming?
Yes, basically.
Okay.
But it's like the whole game, you know?
Yeah.
Like he was literally like he was in a book, he jumps out of the book, he's fighting people 3D style on a table, and then he like finds a cardboard box, and then he like goes into that, and now he's a drawing on that, and he finds his way into a Barbie house and stuff. It looks really cool. They refused to announce a release date for it. Teardown is a PC
for
game.
For what?
Huh? Oh. I get it.
Tear down for what?
I get it.
Oh, okay.
It's a PC game that I'm sure we've talked about before. It's coming to PlayStation. It's not a new game. So then, probably one of the most hyped trailers of the thing. So this trailer starts, and it's a extreme close-up of an ant. And the camera moves, and it's a bunch of ants, and it pans up, and the ants are eating a dead tree frog. And then a bird comes and picks up the tree frog. Now we're following the bird. The bird has this tree frog. It flies through some fencing, like electrical fencing. It lands on a log in a lake. The camera pans up. There's something in the lake. It's an anaconda. The anaconda eats the bird. The anaconda is immediately eaten by a crocodile. So we're doing this like who's the strongest, like survival of fittest type thing, right? Animal food chain type thing. Camera zooms into the forest, and who's the top of the food chain? It's man, but not any man. It's fucking Solid Snake. Is in the forest. And then the Snake Eater song starts playing. They're remaking Snake Eater, which is Metal Gear Solid 3. It's going to be called Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, and it's a full-blown True Blue remake. It is being made by Konami, which is very interesting, because they don't do that anymore. They don't make games anymore.
Isn't there another series that they recently did that we were like, but you don't make games?
Yeah, Silent Hill.
Yeah,
They had a whole Silent Hill presentation, and a big laughing point of that presentation was every time they were like, they announced like 6 new Silent Hill games or projects, and every time they did, they were like, and this one's being developed by a different studio that's not Konami. And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. This one seems to be being developed by Konami, which is very interesting to me. Then, in a brief screen, they announced that the original Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 are going to come to PlayStation 5 as well. So those ones are going to be ports.
Gotcha.
This one's going to be a straight-up remake. But what I didn't notice, it's called the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. What I didn't realize the first time watching it is it's called the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Part 1.
Oh.
Which makes me think that they're going to do 4 and 5 as well.
Yeah.
So 4 and 5 are probably going to be remasters, because 5 is a PS4 game. There's no reason to port that to PS5. I can already play it on PS5 with my PS4 disc. So I have a feeling that the first 3 are going to be ports. This is a straight-up remake. And then the other 2 are going to be remasters. So
Solid theory.
Very excited for that. Towers of Aghaspa, not going to lie, wasn't paying attention to this one because I was freaking out about Snake Eater. It looked fine. Another trailer for Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16 still looks great. Something cool that happened, which I did want to talk about. Final Fantasy has a main theme. It's not the song you think. And it's from the original NES Final Fantasy game. And I've noticed this, and I've never seen anyone talk about it. Every single time a new mainline, like numbered Final Fantasy game is coming out, the last trailer before the game releases has that song in it. And this one did as well.
Cool.
So watching, because I wasn't like expecting it, but like I'm watching the trailer and the song started, I was like, oh, happy Final Fantasy, everybody. The game's almost here. That game looks great. You get to play as the summons in that game. So like it showed the main character like flying around as Phoenix and like fighting as Ifrit. It looks really cool.
What a cool concept that Zelda Twilight Princess did like 15 years ago.
Remind me?
You get to play as the wolf.
Oh, yeah. But that's more it. The wolf sucks though. I don't want to play.
Well, no, I mean the wolf sucks. Yeah, that's why it was a concept.
So they announced Alan Wake 2, which is crazy because the original Alan Wake came out in 2010, I think. And there was this big licensing issue with it because it had licensed music in it. It was like taken off Marketplace. It's been a long time coming. Remedy is finally making Alan Wake 2, and it looks great. It looks like it's like full-blown horror. Here's Alan Wake in a nutshell. You play as a horror author, a la Stephen King or that other dude, James Patterson. Your stories start to come to life, and you have to shoot them. And every monster is like a smoke monster, so you have a flashlight and a gun. You have to flashlight them, make them corporeal, then shoot them.
So this is that that Goosebumps movie that came out with Jack Black a few years ago with a Luigi Mansion
with
twist.
Luigi's Mansion mechanics, yeah. But this one looks
crazy.
This one looks like it's going to be full-blown horror, and it also looks like you're not going to play as Alan Wake, at least for part of it, because there was a completely different character that took the center stage, which was interesting. Very excited about that. That one's coming out on my brother's birthday, which is cool. They finally showed off gameplay and a new release date for Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's coming on October 12th. I probably briefly talked about a few months ago they had an Assassin's Creed 10th anniversary stream where they announced a ton of games. And they announced 2 games, Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is going to take place in Bangkok, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I'm in the general vicinity, a la the world map. And they announced Assassin's Creed Project Scarlet. And they were basically like, hey, guys, remember how we used to make Assassin's Creed games one way, and then we changed it, and now they're all open world, and everyone loves that? We're going to make Mirage. It's going to be like the old ones. Meanwhile, we're going to be making Scarlet. It's going to be like the new ones. That one's going to be the one that takes place in feudal Japan. Because ever since this whole Assassin's Creed thing started, the biggest thing that fans have wanted is to go to feudal Japan.
That's
and
cool.
They're finally doing it. It's going to be a crazy next-gen open-world game. But in the meantime, we have this one, which is a new game made like the old Assassin's Creed games. And it looks great. I'm really excited for it. I might actually buy this one.
Cool. We got a
go for it.
Jesse Cox said that Final Fantasy 16 story feels like Game of Thrones meets Attack on Titan.
Ooh.
And that makes me excited. That's really interesting.
I'm assuming Jesse played it, and I can call him that because I've met him twice. I'm assuming he had hands-on with it because the Final Fantasy people love him. Revenant Hill, not going to lie, don't even know what that is. Don't remember it. They announced Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. They showed more Street Fighter 6. It still looks fine. They showed a game called Ultros, which looked like you were playing inside a stained glass mirror. The art style was very, very cool. They showed off a game called Tower of Fantasy, which kind of gave me Genshin Impact vibes. And then they started showing this trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it starts with like a carriage going through a forest. It's clearly medieval. And then the word Capcom comes on screen. And I immediately start complaining. I was like, really? Is this Monster Hunter? Is Monster Hunter so popular that we're getting a Monster Hunter release every single year? Turns out, no. Because almost as soon as I start complaining, the title Dragon's Dogma 2 comes on screen. So they're making a new Dragon's Dogma game. It looks awesome. Dragon's Dogma is essentially in concept the like high difficulty creature battles of Dark Souls mixed with the like open world exploration that you would find in a game like Fallout or Skyrim.
Okay.
And this is the 3rd Dragon's Dogma game. There was Dragon's Dogma, and then there was like one of those. It was a situation where it was supposed to be an expansion pack, but it just took off, and now it's its own game like Halo ODST. It's called Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. This one's called Dragon's Dogma 2. It looks great. And then we get into the VR section of the thing. They announced Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2, Resident Evil 4 VR mode, which makes me think that you don't have to purchase it, which is cool. Arizona Sunshine 2, Crossfire, Sierra Squad, Synapse. They announced Beat Saber's coming to PlayStation VR 2, and they did that with a Queen music pack.
Cool.
Bungie, the people who used to make Halo but now make Destiny, are making a game called Marathon. I looked this up. Apparently, Marathon is already something else. I'm not quite sure if it was a Bungie thing or not, but the new Marathon game is going to be made by Bungie.
Cool.
And then they announced what I think is the final the final Destiny 2 DLC pack. It's called Destiny 2: The Final Shape. Talked about a game called Concord. They showed that fucking terrible trailer for the Gran Turismo movie. And then they basically announced the Switch. PlayStation is making the Nintendo Switch. It's gonna have a controller that looks dumb, but it's gonna be basically and
the PSP again.
No. Stay with me here.
Okay,
it's kind of a weird comparison, but I think it makes sense. It's basically like if PlayStation made a Wii U gamepad, but it's the Switch.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Like, this is what the Vita was supposed to be. Like, you're going to be able to, like, oh, man, I'm playing Spider-Man. Oh, but my partner wants to watch something on the television. I'll just pick up the Switch version that I have and continue playing it down here.
The only thing is, it's not it's not a Switch. It's not a Switch.
No.
It's just it's a little console that you still need to be within vicinity of your PS5 to play this, is what it sounds like, because you only stream, supposedly, based off of what I read, I don't even think stream is the right word. I think you cast what's happening on that's what it sounds like. I could be totally wrong, but it sounds like you're casting what's happening on your PS5 onto this console.
I didn't even think about that. So you're saying that you're not even going to be able to leave the house with your PS Switch.
The word stream, to me, I'll bring that up again. The way they worded it, precisely.
Because cast and stream is different. I'll give them that.
Sony's making a new handheld to stream PS5 games.
Okay, so I think what stream implies is that you need Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's
Other
what
than
it
that,
is.
you can take it out of the house, I think.
I can only imagine it could be linked to your account.
Yeah. That begs the question: does the PS5 have to be on even if you're halfway across the country?
Saying.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, I'm curious to see more info about that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious to see how this thing works, and I'm curious to see how much it's going to cost, because I kind of want one. But if it's like 200, if it's more than 200, I'm good. I think
you can't make I was going to say an adaptation. I guess it kind of is. You can't make an adaptation to a console, which is a new concept altogether. Make it 2 years after the release of your console that did horribly because you didn't make enough.
Right.
And then be like, slap a $300 price tag on it.
Yeah.
Like, if it's going to be a little cute add-on, 150, I think, at most.
Yeah,
175.
I'm right there with you. It's
200, and that's it.
It's probably going to be 300 if I know this industry. So the last thing they showed off, this is the big one. It was like a 10-minute long video. Oh, what does Langwell got?
Is it like how you can stream Kingdom Hearts games on the Switch?
Yes, but it's less like evil and scammy than that, because you already own the game on your PlayStation 5. You're just streaming the game you own.
Yeah. At least that's what it sounds like.
If you buy Kingdom Hearts 3 Cloud Edition on Switch, they can take that away from you whenever they want.
I hate that. It's part of the reason I'm holding out on buying games, not buying physical games.
Right.
I don't know. There's just something about it that doesn't feel right to me.
Well, if it says cloud version, don't do it.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, you're probably fine. So they were like, the dude comes back out for the second time the whole stream, and he was like, and now for our last thing, right? And sorry, PlayStation's making wireless earbuds. Yippee.
Oh, cool.
So I said this out loud because I was watching this with my dad. I was like, this is either going to be Spider-Man 2 footage or it's going to be Elden Ring DLC announcement. And the trailer starts, and it's some dude walking through the woods, and I was like, oh, it's neither. And then this dude, like finds some blood on some tree and like picks it and is like smelling it. And I was like, something broke in me, and I was like, unless this guy's about to be killed by Kraven the Hunter, then it's Spider-Man 2 footage. And I was exactly right. He was killed by Kraven the Hunter. Comes, he chokes him to death. His friend's like, look at my iPad, look at this crazy city. They're like, we're gonna go there, and it says 6 months later, and then it's New York.
Cool.
So the trailer starts, and Kraven the Hunter people are running amok in Queens. Who's there to stop them? It's Spider-Man, except he's got the black suit, so he's all Venom. He's all Venomized. Yuri Lowenthal's doing a voice, and that voice is a choice for sure. But yeah. So there was like Venom suit combat. There was like tendrils, and it looked neat. And then after he's done fighting these people, he gets like an alert on his watch or whatever about the Lizard doing something across town. And Peter's like, that's across town, I'll never make it. And the prompt switch to Miles comes on screen.
That's cool.
So you click X, now you're playing as Miles. They show an entire stealth sequence, when you're like in a warehouse and you're like, how do I stealth this?
Yeah, yeah.
A whole one of those. You find the Lizard, you're chasing the Lizard. You're chasing the Lizard who is chasing Kraven the Hunter people, and this chase brings you out into the river, into the ocean or whatever, or the river or whatever. And then Peter catches up. Now you're doing this like chase sequence, when you're chasing the cars and you have to like get close, hit triangle, go there.
Yeah, yeah.
You're doing that, but it's on the water. But you're playing as both Spider people. You're going back and forth. But like Miles does a thing, he throws it over to Peter. Now you're playing as Peter, and it was really cool. And the last line, I love how every time, and I don't know if this is the movie Spider-Man 3 starring Tobey Maguire. I don't know if this is influence of that, but every time Peter is all venomed up, he's just like a little lame. He's just like a little bit like cringy. And Miles was like, we got to go after Kraven the Hunter. And Peter was like, no, I'm going to go after the Lizard. And Miles says something like, he has really big teeth. And Spider-Man looks at him, he's like, so do I. And then he takes off.
Cool.
And then Genki was like, he doesn't usually act like that, right? And Miles was like, no, he never acts like that. And that was the whole trailer, and I'm really excited for it. It looks so good. And I couldn't tell by watching it, but I read something online. Someone on Twitter who worked on the game was talking about how the swinging in this game is like really good. And
better than the first two?
Apparently better than the first two. It's like a revamped, like, because obviously the swinging in the first two was like near perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently this is better.
That's crazy.
Couldn't really tell by looking at it. Also, there wasn't much swinging because after like 2 swings, Miles took out a wingsuit and started flying through the town, which was pretty cool. But I was like, I really wanted to see some like just some raw swinging, which we didn't really get because most of it was like an action scene.
We need that raw swinging.
I need that raw swinging pumped directly into my veins. But yeah, so that was that.
I got 2 things.
Sure.
GameStop Power-Up Rewards is being replaced with a costlier program.
Uh-oh. That sounds like it's going to suck.
Yeah, it is. And the God of War creator calls Zelda Tears of the Kingdom distractingly ugly.
Oh, interesting.
I know.
Interesting take. I'm assuming that's Cory Barlog saying that?
They didn't specify.
I'm pretty sure Cory Barlog is who they talk about when they say the creator of God of War. That's interesting. I have no opinion because I literally haven't played it yet, but I can only assume it looks like. Well, I mean, maybe his comment is in like because I can only assume this is the same engine,
right? And
I can only assume that this engine, you got to think it's somewhat outdated because it was made for the Wii U. Because Breath of the Wild, a lot of people I always forget, was a Wii U game. It was a cross. It was the last Wii U game, the first Switch game, or whatever, you know. So, yeah, I mean, distractingly ugly is really harsh. Outdated, sure, I'll give you that. It probably is. But haven't seen it. I'll check in next time, probably.
I just don't think I've ever played a game where I was like, the graphics are just distracting me, and they're so bad.
Only, like the first Resident Evil if you play the original Resident Evil now, it's like, what am I fucking looking at?
Yeah, but back then it was probably revolutionary. You know what I mean?
What
Like,
I'm saying,
I guess the word I missed was new game.
There's been a couple new games where, like, because I don't care about frame rate. Sometimes it's so bad that it's unplayable. There's been cases like that where I'm like, you gotta fix this. Batman Arkham Knight was one of those where it came out and it was just like, this is barely a finished game. They've got to fix this, and then they did, and that game's great now, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I've ever played a game where I'm like, fuck these graphics. I bought it yesterday, and I'm like, fuck these graphics, though.
Yeah.
Distractingly ugly is very specific wording.
Yeah, that's what got me. That's what made me be like, screenshot.
Distractingly ugly tells me that Corey Barlog was playing it, and he's like, I'm having fun, but fucking, it looks bad. I'm gonna play something else. This is too ugly. Which is a little extra.
It's a bit much. That's all I've got for news. I think it's time for us to make a video game.
Oh, good golly gosh. Yes, let's do it.
Just dying to know what's in this Dave & Buster's bag that's just off screen.
Oh, I can show you. It's nothing special.
Is it food? Because I did not eat today.
It's actually, believe it or not, it's all Sonic related. I got a little Sonic and a little Amy.
That's cute.
And if you're wondering why those characters, they were blind boxes.
At Dave & Buster's?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I got Tails Pez and a Sonic Pez. And I got a Dave & Buster's shot glass. Me and my brother both got it because my brother and I went to Dave & Buster's with my parents for Mother's Day. That's why we didn't stream last week. And I don't even know if I told you this. We did better than we've ever done at an arcade. We ended up having 15,000 tickets.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's called gambling. We found some coin pushers and modern day coin pushers. I don't know if you've interacted with them, but they have trading cards that lay on top of the coins. And the way they work is if you get a full set, you turn them in for a bunch of coins. So for example, there was a Wizard of Oz. There was a Wizard of Oz, a Star Trek Next Generation, and a SpongeBob machine. And if you turn in like one of every SpongeBob character, you get 3,000 tickets or whatever, So I think we did all of them once, and then we did the Wizard of Oz one a second time.
Cool.
And we ended up with 15,000 between the two of us. So we sort of split our tickets, and we each got a shot glass. Anyways, back to what I was doing over here. Now you'd think that I would have pinned it. Oh, I did. There it is. Cool. Okay, so what we are about to do is we're going to make a video game. So we're going to pick a genre and an IP, which stands for intellectual property. So, for example, the last thing we did was an MMORPG, a Memorpaga, based on Scooby-Doo franchise. So I'm going to ask chat if you have a genre. I just request that you don't pick MMO because that's the one we just did. Other than that, any genre is good. And then we're going to have Chris.
That's me.
Pick a number 1 to 45. Just a warning, this is the second list, so I might have to have you pick a number, a second number if the first one was already taken. 1 to 45.
I'm going to say 32.
32. Oh, okay. 32 is interesting. 30. There's a secondary option to 32.
Okay.
So I'm glad you picked 32. Now I need to go to the internet and pick out a random number generator real quick. Oh no, I don't. I have to go to a different. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, I have to go to this website. Chris, I want you to pick another number. This number is between 1 and 1008.
1008. 999.
999. 999 is this one, I think, right? Yes. Okay. Do we have a genre?
No genre.
We do not. Then we will pick one.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? I won't pick because I already know the thing. What are you feeling? Last couple we did was
You know what
MMO, farming sim, a cooking, a horror.
You know what I don't think we've ever done before?
Yeah, lay it on me.
A racing game.
racing game. I think we had a Power Rangers racing game.
Oh, we did. You're right. We did have a racing game. I'm gonna choose racing.
Okay. So, this might be impossible, but we'll see.
I'm excited.
Number 32. The prompt was a single Pokemon. Like a specific Pokemon.
Okay.
That was the prompt. So then I've had you pick another number from all the Pokemon.
Oh, I see.
And Pokemon 999.
Oh, fuck.
Pokemon 999 is an interesting one because it is Gimmighoul, the mimic Pokemon from the new game.
Oh, okay. Oh, why couldn't it be the fucking car Pokemon?
Racing game about this thing.
Racing thing about the mimic Pokemon.
I don't
Fuck.
I don't
Why
think we
was
could
single Pokemon an option?
Because I thought it'd be fun, and it was for me so far.
Fuck. A Pokemon racing game I can make.
Right, but that is not what we are making.
Can you remind me what this thing does? I mean, I get it. It's a mimic from D&D, but, like, does it really act like a mimic from D&D?
So I do have Pokedex entries. I'll get into those in a sec. But
Okay.
basically, how it works in the game is you find it. It has two forms: in the chest, out of the chest. It's scattered throughout the world. Out of the chest, you just click it, and you get a bunch of Gimmighoul coins. You get like 2 or 3. If you find a Gimmighoul in a chest, you fight it, and whether you beat it or capture it, you get like 50 plus Gimmighoul coins. If you get 999 Gimmighoul coins, you can evolve your Gimmighoul into the Ghouldengo or whatever the other one is.
Okay.
That's how it works. Here's the Pokedex entries. This Pokemon was born inside a chest about 1,500 years ago. It sucks the life force out of scoundrels who try to steal treasure. It lives inside an old treasure chest. Sometimes it gets left in shop corners since no one realizes it's actually a Pokemon. And then for the out of the chest form, there's 2 other ones. This Pokemon was born from passion that seeped into a coin. Passion that seeped into a coin. It wanders, apparently seeking to return to the treasure chest it once inhabited. Sad. It wanders around carrying an old coin on its back. It survives by draining the life force from humans who pick up the coin. This might be it. This might be the one that doesn't happen.
So it doesn't shapeshift at all.
No, it just like it shapeshifts in the sense that trying to think of a different Pokemon as an example.
I mean, just use a mimic from D&D.
No, but it's not. It's more like the Ice Cube Pokemon, where it has like an ice cube head and then it breaks and it's got like a real penguin head underneath.
Okay.
It's kind of like that, where it doesn't shapeshift, but it technically has 2 forms. It's just, am I in the chest or am I out of the chest?
Okay. I might have something.
Okay.
So there's a coin form and there's the chest form.
Yes.
And the coin is trying to get into the chest.
Yeah, the coin, the coin form, little dude, has a coin to trick people and sucks their blood like a vampire or some shit. He's trying to find the chest.
Okay.
But every time a player finds the chest, it already has a little dude in it.
Right. Okay. Here's what we're doing.
Okay.
This is going to be a phone game.
Ooh. Sorry, I also came up with an idea just now.
Do you want to give me yours?
No, I want you to. You already started, so you give me yours. Also, I think Langwell has.
Oh, man, if you could do it. Man, if you could do its evolved form, it surfs.
I know. No, literally any other Pokemon would be easier. I know this.
Yeah. No, we're in a rough spot. So it's a phone game.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a phone game, but like this is gonna be like a one-trick pony game. This isn't going to be multiple levels or some shit. There could be
a free-to-play time killer rather than a $20 Switch game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels style tracks. These coins are rolling.
Okay.
You can have as many racers as you want. But at the end of these tracks, and they're all on separate tracks, all going to one place, is the chest. So all these coins are whoever's the first one gets the chest.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, people get in the way of the track because it's like a Toy Story style.
Right.
Like everything's bigger than it should be.
Can I shoot you my?
Yeah. No, please go ahead.
Okay. Now I'm trying to be respectful of the fact that the prompt was "Gimme Ghoul" and not Pokemon. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's an open world game.
Mm-hmm. Oh God. Oh, we're just getting rid of the race concept?
No.
Okay.
We're not.
Okay.
It's an open world game. It doesn't take place in Paldea. It doesn't take place. It's just an open world. It's like Breath of the Wild. It's basically empty, right?
Okay.
There's no other Pokemon. It's just Gimme Ghoul. The object of the game is to. It's basically just Korok hunting in Breath of the Wild, but that's the whole game. You're trying to. All around this map is coins, and you have to find them. And then once you do, you evolve into the evolution, because that's how it works. You get 999, and then you evolve, and then the game ends. You don't play as him, because that's not the prompt. But the way you do it is you as a little dude walking around, you find a chest version of it. It's empty. Using 4 coins, you turn it into a car. So 4 coins as the wheel. You're in the chest. You're riding around this barren, like... I'm thinking this is like a... If you know where all the pieces are, you could probably speedrun this in, like, less than an hour. It's literally, like... It's just, like... I'm thinking like $6 for this game. It's just a scavenger hunt where... And maybe there's a little puzzle. Maybe there's a little, like...
Yeah.
Oh, if you go over this hill this way, you can't... But the way you get around the world is primarily in a car.
Okay. Can I add to this?
Yes.
I think you should start with a team of trainers, and you're all trying to be the first one to get all of these coins.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
And
I think every chapter's there's a new race.
Yes, yeah. I think Sonic Frontier style, every so often on this open world, you find a race, and if you beat the race, you get a big clump, like in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Instead of finding 1 Gimme Ghoul coin, you get like 60.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah. It was super duper hard.
They say, embrace your dreams. And one day you too can
make video games in 10 minutes.
Peddle some bullshit. That was so... We did it. What's the title?
Some bullshit.
Well, what is it? Hang on. Let me return back to its Pokemon page.
Gimme Ghoul Turismo 5.
This Pokemon, by the way, that's based around coins, and it sucks the soul out of people, and ghost type.
Yeah.
Not ghost metal, not ghost fire, because mimics. There's a ghost. It's odd. Maybe we call it. Oh man. Okay, this site, Cerebi, has a location part. So if it was Bulbasaur, it would be like Professor Oak's lab. Get the Pokemon. This one just says all over Paldea. Could that be the title?
Okay.
All over Paldea?
Yeah. So we are officially making the open world a place, which is fine.
Yeah, it's Paldea, but it's millions of years. Oh, no, it's 1,500 years ago.
Oh.
Because that's his origin from his Pokedex.
Yeah.
It all works. There's no... Okay, from now on, I'm never, ever again going to say, like, this one might not work.
Oh, we can bullshit something.
Always work.
Yeah.
But it's not just that we bullshitted it, it's that we made a game that I would actually play.
Gimme Grand Prix.
Oh,
Gimme
shit.
Grand Prix.
It's that one.
Wait, Gimme Grand Prix. What are the 2 dots? Colon.
Golden?
Yeah. Give me Grand Prix colon all over Paldea.
Yes. This, and do you want to know what I like about this title? Is that it's nonsense, just like every other racing game.
5.
5?
Give me Grand Prix all over Paldea.
Over Paldea 5.
5. Too hot for stuff.
Too Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Too fast, too speed.
That was perfect. Give me Grand Prix. I love it so much.
All right. That's going to do it for our video game podcast, but don't go anywhere. We're going to do a flagship podcast. I'm going to talk about Ascen, a con I actually went to. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Our channel has daily uploads from podcast video essays, Let's Plays to skits.
Be sure to watch on Twitch. We stream all our video game and podcast content live at 5 EST every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Our intro is by Brad Kendrick and music by Froggy and the Friendship. Link to all that in the description below.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.